This is John with Brainstorm Comics and Gaming, and this is this week's Turning the Page. I am joined this week by Chris. Love is blind. It's a little sad, I know, but you know, we're praying for him.
I didn't think they could get worse, but they are somehow. They are somehow.
I try.
It's okay.
You know.
I applaud your effort, I guess. As minimal as it is.
As minimal as it is, you saw for the last half hour, I've been sitting over there thinking about, ruminating on how to introduce you.
Wow. Way to slip ruminating into a conversation. Points for that.
So this week we will be discussing 7 topics in our Best Wednesday ever as well. 7 topics. Before we begin, don't forget to LCS, like, comment, and subscribe, your local comic book shop, Brainstorm Comics and Gaming. And also, don't forget to start a subscription with us. I know you like to talk up the fact that, you know, we have one of the best subscription models here in the area, if not the state.
Yes. 20% off.
20% off on new issues, 20% off on back issues, 20% off on graphic novels, 10% off on graded books, and even 10% off on board games if you're into board games as well.
Yep.
And that applies to D&D books as well and that sort of thing. So,
all of it.
And we also make it very simple. You need a whopping 1 title on your list. So, and we also have it where you can make adjustments to your list from your house. You can even start your subscription from your house if you like. Just go to our website.
You don't even have to look at us.
But they're already doing that right now.
I was going to say they're already doing it now. Maybe they don't like what they see.
Maybe they're listening to it in the background though. Maybe they aren't watching us.
Maybe. It's true.
Anyway. So in this episode, we'll be discussing Superman, Son of Kal-El, several things going on with him, the Eternal spoiler. Maybe we'll do that one last so if people want to skip that, they don't have to.
I mean, if you don't know what's going on with that by now, I feel like...
There's a lot of spoiler-averse people out there, though, so...
Okay.
I don't want any,
we'll just preface it all by saying there are spoilers in this episode.
Although we do spoil some things here and there anyway, Anyway, we'll also be discussing Adam Warlock being cast, finally. The rumors have been, are true. I know you wanted to discuss House of Slaughter. We will also be discussing Image's impending 30th anniversary next year. Mm-hmm. Also, Elektra getting a new series. Robin and Batman by Lemire and Dustin Nguyen.
Not Batman and Robin. Robin and Batman.
Exactly.
There's a difference.
And like I said, best Wednesday ever. So let's get started. We'll start with topic number 1. Superman, Son of Kal-El has had many things going on here recently. Number 1, the changing of the phrase "Truth, Justice, and the American Way." That was the first one. Mm-hmm. Then Jonathan has come out as bisexual, and then they've announced that an upcoming storyline is about climate change.
We're just throwing it all out there. Just get it all out.
Sure to make some people's head explode, I'm sure. Sure to make some people very happy. Where do you stand on this?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought we would have been over this whole, this character's bisexual or this character's transgender or homosexual or whatever. I would have hoped we'd have been over that by now, but apparently we aren't. So, cool. Onward, forward with regular life, I feel like. I don't really see... I think the only people that it pisses off are the people that it should piss off, and, you know.
So, well, I don't know. We've talked about the True Justice and the American Way one before. That one does bother me, but...
You and I are on... very different sides of that fence. I
understand.
I say it's great. You dislike it.
I do dislike it.
But you are also a big Superman.
I'm a big Jonathan fan.
You're a big... I could care less about any of that stuff. He's just a giant Boy Scout in a red cape to me.
You make me sad.
It's fine. I make you sad a lot. You make me sad a lot. It's like the perfect thing, you know?
The yin and the yang.
Yeah, totally.
The climate change thing, I don't know. I feel like they're throwing a lot out there that really is going to irk this.
And it's not like it's a new thing that's been tackled in comics. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're
But
going
it
to
sounds like
tackle.
it's gonna be a whole story arc. Normally
gonna-
it's like a one issue or whatever, and
I mean, it's part of the world. It's a thing that exists, whether you believe it or not. So, you know, I mean, eventually someone's going to talk about it. It's been talked about before. It's been dealt with before. Cool.
I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, and Superman has tackled like big things before,
Sure.
like even in the movies, like the quest for peace and
Sure.
things like that. And,
Can he just like fly into space and like blow on the world and cool it all down or something? I mean, Superman. I don't know, dude. Doesn't he possess that power? I don't know.
he can turn back time. He just
Yeah,
fly backwards.
yeah. Can't like Flash like just run around like slow the world down or something? I don't know, man. We can do something.
So you're kind of indifferent to.
I'm super
because
indifferent
you don't
to
care
it.
about Superman.
I mean, yeah, Superman isn't a real big deal to me, honestly. I know probably a lot of people like Superman. I've never liked Superman. And like I said, I kind of hoped we were behind or ahead of this mattering, you know?
like I said, the bisexual thing doesn't matter that much to me. Although I do still wish that he was. You and I talked about this. I still wish he was like 11-year-old, 12-year-old Jonathan. I think Bendis screwed over the character when he aged him up like over the course of a couple months. But
I mean, we have a clone Superboy that's what, like 16 now, and he's
I like
been
Connor
around.
also.
Yeah, I mean, Connor's great, but we all bought that he, you know, was around and had all these experiences, and he was like 15 minutes old. So,
But they've aged him up to 18. He went to the future for a while, and like his grandfather kidnapped him, and blah blah blah. Like I don't know. Bendis is a terrible writer, but he is. I used to like Bendis.
like, how you make blanket statements for both of us, like.
No, I'm not talking for you. I mean,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's a terrible writer, but
he's good on his own stuff. When he takes on established characters, he doesn't take the time to actually research the character, and it annoys me.
I mean, I really, honestly, my 100% honest take on this is like, really, Superman is so boring that they're just searching and searching and searching for things to make him relevant. I know that's gonna make you mad. I'm probably gonna get fired. This will be my last take on Turn the Page. John's gonna hate me.
This
But
this is my problem though. The character is not boring. It's that the writers are terrible. And yes, I'm even including Tom Taylor in this blanket statement. I know you're getting kind of because they want to impose their own things on it instead of working within the character and everything. Now,
sure.
I will say Jonathan Kent's a little bit more of a blank slate than Clark is.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can't say like this is within or without his character because he doesn't have enough history to really say like this is outside or inside.
I also think Superman is one of those characters that's like the last vegetable of like, you don't mess with Superman.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna let you do anything with Superman. Like, Superman is Superman.
I don't know. I think I've told you before. I have a lot of ideas on how they could make Superman more interesting, but more appealing to the masses out there.
Hey,
Now, I
Warner
will say-
Brothers DC, we have ideas. Just saying, we work cheap too.
I would just love to write a Superman story, but I know you don't care. Now, some of the people who are on the other side of what I believe are saying, like, well, comic books have always been political from the very outset, and you know.
Sure.
Now, my counter argument against that is that, okay, I'll take that. However, you have to accept that the fact that a lot of them were political because the government wanted them to be political. A lot of them were given to like the governmental offices during World War II in order to filter them out to the public.
Propaganda machines, sure.
So it wasn't as cut and dry as people try and make it out to be. And
No. But I also think that he's one of those like legacy characters, and he has this very certain image, and he's, you know, doing these certain things, and if anybody really tries to veer from this set path of what is the ideal of Superman, people get big mad about it.
Yeah.
So
Well, we've talked about. I think we've talked about this in the past. I'm pretty sure we have. People claim that they want differences within their comics. They want change, but that's not true. They really want it to be static.
I mean, they say that, and then they change things, and then
People get up and up for it.
the comic community goes buck wild and gets all tilt. But, and I've said it before, you can't work so hard and make these stories with all of these real life feelings and emotions and situations and things that happen and expect that like these situations aren't going to be there. You know what I mean? You can't humanize these characters but leave out homosexuality or transgender or anything like that, and just expect that, you're going to be able to go for that because it's just one point of view. You know what I mean?
So I will say that one of the things that I read, you and I talk about this all the time. Both of us are on a lot of comic book forums, and one guy said that they should create a new character if they want to make somebody bisexual. I'm like, well,
then if you make a new character, then just like the Tynion thing, like everybody's like, oh, Tynion's making some new characters now. There's 30 of them. We can't do that.
Well, my argument with this one is Jonathan is a new character, and again,
right.
He is a blank slate. So, like I said, so the bisexual thing doesn't really matter that much to me. I don't really care about that one. Like I said, the one that bothers me the most is still the Truth, Justice, and the American Way one. The climate change one, I feel like Tom Taylor's throwing a lot at one time to just try
die
and
on that Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
I will.
That's cool. It's fine.
I'm just saying that the people who are arguing that they need to create a new character,
so
it rings hollow with this one because Jonathan Kent is a relatively new character.
So I think at the base of all of this, at the boiling point of the absolute zero of this is that no matter what they do, comic book fans are going to complain about it.
If they try and change things.
Anything, ever, they're going to complain about it.
Yeah.
Keeps it interesting, I guess.
Fair enough.
Hey,
I guess since you don't really have much to say on Superman,
I feel like I've said my piece.
You said more than what you
on
thought you would.
The Big Blue Boy Scout. I have said my piece.
So we'll turn the page on that one. I'm sure we'll revisit it because I'm sure Tom Taylor will have a fourth, fifth, and sixth.
Sure. We're gonna be
And I like Tom Taylor. I like Tom Taylor, but I feel like this.
I like Tom Taylor too.
I haven't read the Kal-El stuff yet, but the Son of Kal-El stuff yet. But I know you're not going to. But as I said, Superman's always been one of my favorites. So we'll turn the page on that one though.
Let's just turn it.
And we'll move on to the second one. Spoilers ahead for this next topic. Apparently one of the advanced reviewers who got to see advanced copy of Eternals also got a chance to see the end credits. When I read the article, apparently normally they don't let them see the end credits.
Yeah, I don't know. I also don't know why you would write about that or spoil that at all. I'm pretty sure that, at least I thought that when you saw those things and reviewed them, there were some pretty cut and dry things that you could and couldn't talk about. So it's kind of weird that they spoiled that.
So the reveal, for those who don't know, Harry Styles has been cast as Eros, Thanos' brother. Yep. Your thoughts? Good casting, bad casting, indifferent casting? We'll see how it goes.
Has anybody asked for that? Did anybody ask for an Eternals movie? I don't think anybody was clamoring for an Eternals movie.
I was writing them every day.
Sure. It's their love letter to Jack Kirby, apparently.
They did say that.
Maybe they could have told him while he was alive.
You know what a good love letter would have been? A check.
Paying him, yeah. Paying him for all the stuff he did for the comic community and Marvel at large. Yeah, cool. Right on.
Rebuilding their almost bankrupt company in the 1960s.
No, it was all Stan Lee, apparently. That's a whole nother. We should just do a whole episode on just our opinions on Kirby and Stan Lee. Ditko, all of it.
Ditko was crazy. He was very creative.
Everyone would hate us after it, though, I feel like, because it's probably not going to go the way people think. Anyway, yeah, cool. I hope it goes off well. I care less about the Eternals than I do about Superboy, honestly, and Superman. Because, like I said, nobody. Who in the world was like, you know what we need? And in the 30,000 MCU movies, we need an Eternals movie. That's what we need.
And cast a bunch of formerly hot actors and actresses.
Sure. And then at the end, your big treat, your big reveal is going to be Thanos' brother.
I'll be honest with you. I'm more of a DC guy than a Marvel guy. I don't even know who the hell Eros is. When I read the thing and saw it said it was Thanos' brother, I was like, okay.
Yep.
And has he done anything important within the Marvel universe?
Not that I know of. Not that I'm not. I'm gonna have to
cameraman.
plead a little ignorance on that one.
The Infinity trilogy or whatever in the 90s.
Okay.
Star Fox.
Mm-hmm.
I think. All right.
The video game?
No.
I feel like we went off the rails real quick in this episode.
I honestly, like I said, I tried reading Neil Gaiman's Eternals and fell asleep after page 2, I think, and
I don't know, man. I've never been a big fan of the Eternals. I've never once I don't. I hope it's a cool movie. You know, I guess I'll see it when it streams on something. I don't think I'm gonna go to the theater and watch that.
There was another Eternals, or was it Deviants? It was during the early 2000s that was very R-rated. That one, I forget who wrote that one. Chuck Austin, I think, wrote it. I think it was Chuck Austin. No.
No.
I think it was Chuck Austin that wrote the one I'm thinking of.
I'm gonna have to go with you on that one because, like I said, I don't know. And maybe it's just because maybe there's a lot of people that like the Eternals out there, and like I'm gonna get hate mail or something. But yeah, I really don't.
I feel like the Eternals is a lot like Legion of Superheroes, where they have a diehard fan base, but like
it's like the Inhumans. I feel like, you know what I mean. Like I feel like there's people out there that are like Black Bolt is the best, Lockjaw is amazing, Medusa.
But it's a very small, but
It's
very
a
loyal,
small niche community,
but very loyal.
living on the moon. Yeah, I feel like it was kind of. I don't know. I feel like there was better stuff they could have done.
People felt the same way about Shang-Chi, though, and then it ended up being a movie that people are singing its praises. And...
Okay, people are really going to hate me on this one. All right, but we're going to go there. Screw it.
Okay.
I think if Shang-Chi had come out in any other time besides pandemic, post-pandemic, Shang-Chi would not have done what it did in the theaters.
You don't think so?
Nah.
I don't know. Marvel's built up a lot of credit with people at this point. And...
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it would have been, you know.
And I didn't feel that way. I felt that same way about Ant-Man. I felt that same way about Guardians of the Galaxy before it came out.
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of amazing, and they did turn a bunch of people that nobody cared about in the comic community. But I think that was a lot of that was casting. And I'm not saying anything bad about Shang-Chi. It was a cool movie. It was acted great. Blah blah blah. I just don't think that that movie 5 years ago would have done the same thing that it did this year.
It's possible.
That's just my take on it.
So you are not looking forward to the Eternals movie. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Well, we will see how this one plays out. But if you're saying the pandemic helped it, I mean, pandemic might help this one as well.
Sure. I mean,
people have pent up energy for the Marvel universe right now, and
yeah,
they haven't gotten as much material as they would have, and
no,
they've had to live off Disney Plus.
The alligator Lokis.
So we'll turn the page on that one, and we'll go into other casting news. Adam Warlock has been cast.
Ooh, finally.
With Will Poulter as apparently We're the Millers guy has been cast as Adam Warlock. Who, when I looked at him on that, I was like, that's your Adam Warlock right there.
That is your Adam Warlock there. Yep.
Your thoughts?
I just kind of tried to imagine that dude all gold. Yeah. I'm just trying to imagine that goofy kid like Adam Warlock. I hope he pulls it off. It's great.
The only thing I've ever seen him in is We're the Millers, and
I hope it's like We're the Millers. He's just all gold with the thing and the comes out of a big egg.
Cameraman, you're big on movies. Have you seen Will Poulter in anything else?
Oh yeah, Midsummer.
He was in Midsummer.
Good acting, bad acting, sideways acting.
He was good, but he was supposed to be like a scumbag. So.
Yeah, I just don't know if I get that ethereal, cosmic, all-powerful being type thing from him. But he is an actor. It's what he gets paid to do. So he's going to act like that.
I'm all for them casting anybody because I've been selling more Thor books.
Totally. Yeah. And I feel like they set a bunch of stuff up for Adam Warlock, and then they were like, no, wait a minute, we messed that up. And then they kind of just like let everybody forget about Adam Warlock, and then they were like, cool, found Adam Warlock. So great. Yeah. I hope it's good. I'm more concerned with them keeping Drax and Batista than Adam Warlock. Yeah.
A piano could fall on his head for all I care.
It's rough. It's a rough room in here today. Wow.
I don't like Batista. I didn't like him when he was a wrestler. I don't like him.
He is the perfect Drax, though.
Sure.
He is.
I don't think he requires much acting from him. Anyway, so we'll turn the page from that one and move on.
I feel like it's opposite day. I'm usually like the salty one, and you're like, no, let's talk about good stuff. Like, nope. Just shitting on the world today.
I don't like Batista. He's a terrible person.
That's
I could
cool.
go into why, but I won't. Unless we start a wrestling and comic book
We
podcast.
know. We're not doing that. No, sir. Better count me out.
Anyway, so we'll turn to topic number 4. A book that you were looking forward to, House of Slaughter, is already announced at second print.
Apparently a lot of people are looking forward to it.
2 weeks before it comes out, the second print has been announced. And it has like 3 or 4 covers for the second print.
Kids, you want to know how to kill a book before it comes out? Just follow Boom, because they're doing it.
So I take it you are not big on them announcing the second print.
First of all, the first print run was over 500,000 copies. They're up to 20 different variants now, I believe, if you count all the artist incentives and all that good stuff. So you're like 20 plus variants, 500,000 copies. And then you're announcing a second print 2 weeks before the first printing even drops. You've killed all the value of that book. Any speculative value in that book is gone. It's going to be everywhere.
Hopefully it's a good book, though.
I hope it is. I have very high hopes for that book. But
Now, my counter argument to that, and we've discussed this before, is there are many more copies of New Mutants number 98 out there than there are going to be of House of Slaughter number
and there's
1.
even more copies of Spawn 1 than that.
So it doesn't necessarily kill the market.
I don't think it's going to kill the market completely. I think that your higher end variants, the harder to find variants, are still going to hold some value. And it shouldn't. It's not all a value driven market, but with a book like that was so heavily speculated.
So you also have to remember that orders aren't necessarily what customers have ordered. So it's what stores have ordered.
Sure.
Maybe they have underordered, maybe they have overordered. More than likely they have overordered. But that's also the assumption that comic book stores are going to put everything out on the shelves. Mm-hmm. A lot of comic book shops don't put everything that they get out on the shelves.
I think that I don't necessarily see it as such a bad thing. I'm a little disappointed because, Something is Killing Children is a great book. It's one of those things where like it's either really smart from Boom or it's really stupid. And they've done it before with Berserker. And also I think people are looking for the next big, people are always looking for the next big thing. They always want the next Walking Dead.
But normally it's not a repeat of the last thing.
It really isn't a repeat of the last thing. And it's always the books that you don't realize are the ones that catch on and get that. So Stray Dogs. The first printing of Something Killing the Children. I think that's going for like $750, $800 for like the regular like first printing blue cover. It's crazy, but it had a very low print run because it was an indie book and didn't know if it was going to take off. That's kind of where it goes. But now you have something that's got so much hype behind it, and they've put so much of it out that yes, it's readily available, and yes, more people are going to read it, which hopefully more people will get into it. But your resale market, your speculating market, which is a big part of this thing, much to my chagrin, you're kind of killing that aspect of it.
Well, you also have like even the hardcover came out today, and that's hitting like 3 times the MSRP on the book.
Yes.
On eBay.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly there's a lot of built-in expectation for the book. So
if it tanks and it's a horrible book, it's real bad. But if it's
good
and it takes off,
there's a first appearance in it.
There aren't any first appearance in it.
So what if there's a? So this is what I think most comic book companies should realize. If they put a second appearance in the second issue or first appearance in the second issue, they would actually help hold their sales a little bit better.
Sure, and maybe they will.
Although maybe I shouldn't say that to Boom, because then like every second issue will.
Do you think like Ross Ritchie is like listening to this right now? He's watching
not.
this. No, he's not. No. If he is, I have ideas. I need the bag, dog. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it was a little disappointing for me, and I don't want to see that with any book, especially one that I'm like really hyped for. But at the same time, if it gets more people reading it and it turns more people onto other things, then cool, fine. But anybody who thought they were going to get this book and it was going to be worth a ton of money off the bat is sadly mistaken.
Yeah, they're probably hoping for the 1 in 250 or whatever.
They made a 1 in 1,000.
Yeah. That's ugly.
It is. I'm sorry. I don't even know who drew it. I looked at it. It's not good. Sorry.
I thought the Jimmy Frisons were good.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who else did that.
Some of the artist incentive ones are actually okay. But at this point, like I said, you're 20 plus, and then you've got trade dress and virgin and black and white and sketch variants of those. It's getting really weird.
Well, I think I've told you before. I'm against like the store variants and stuff. And there's too many of them out there, and it's hard for any of them to really get traction because there's so few of them out there that a lot of people aren't even aware that they're out there. There was a comic book group, I forget which comic it was, but they showed a cover, and people were like, "Which one's that?" Like,
right.
And it was a beautiful cover, and if it had been like a main cover or something like that, I think it would have been a high dollar book.
Sure.
But the fact that nobody knows it's out there kind of hinders its value a little bit.
Yeah, yep, I think it does. So, and I think that's one thing that like the industry from that aspect of it is kind of lacking in, not understanding or not caring about the speculative market and the collector market within the comic world. I feel like they're kind of just doing whatever they want to do at this point. With Marvel just flooding the market with variant after variant after variant. Now Boom is doing the same thing.
Image, who, like I said a couple years ago, said like, "Oh, this is bad for the industry," and has now followed suit. Superman, Son of Kal-El, has now announced that they're going to do a 1 in 50 third printing variant.
Right. What are we up to? 8 printings of Department of Truth, 7, something like that, for issue 1. At some point, you just got to kind of give the ghost up. I would think you've got to realize that you're killing the market. You are flooding them, and for everyone that's like, we've had this conversation a bunch too about the whole print is dead thing. Print isn't. I mean, House of Slaughter might kill it with its 750,000 copy print run.
The paper shortage, I think, has a possibility.
Sure, there's a huge paper shortage, right? Because there's all the paper is now.
for something is
for House of Slaughter. Yeah, there's no paper left in the world. Boom Studios has all of it and the foil.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I think it'll end up being initially probably like a $10 book.
Like I said, some of the like your 1 in 200 variants, your 1 in 100, so probably hold some value.
Yeah.
But anybody thinking they're going to get like a cover A or cover B and have it be worth a bunch of money.
I think the sleeper is that Basilisk second printing that had the preview. And
that's another thing. That's kind of a low blow too, man. Honestly, I know we've talked about that before too. You and I have. I don't know if you talked about it on camera, but that like sneaking something into a second print to make you buy a second print of a book, especially a book like Basilisk, that's like.
Well, they didn't even announce it, so I don't think they did it to increase sales.
I mean, that book is great. Everyone should be reading Basilisk.
I think that's actually weird. A cool thing to do. I differ on you on that one. I think that's a cool thing to do announce things like that because it makes people pay attention and it makes them like.
I mean, it does, but like, why do it in a second printing? Why not just do it? Like,
I would say why not do it in like a second printing of a Something Is Killing the Children book instead of Basilisk.
Right. Which I mean, in an attempt to get people to read the book, it's great. Read it. I do understand that. But even, the free comic book day is still, it's like $20 on eBay, which is wild to me because there's a million copies out there.
I don't have any. That's a lie. I have a lie.
You say there's like a long box back there of them. It's crazy. But and then they do like they do the whole like one-off like thank you variants and all this like secret variants and stuff. But then it's another thing where it's like you're either immediately chasing it through the aftermarket and you're paying the tax on it, or it's going to somebody, you like your average person isn't going to see that on the shelf.
I think it's a good bonus for retailers though, for supporting their company and everything.
Is it though? But or is it a consolation prize of, you know what I mean? Like, here, we're going to give you this thing that's going to be worth some money because we overprinted this and over-varianted it, and now you're.
I think the thank you variant's probably gonna be the one that's worth the most, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll turn the page on that topic, however, and we'll follow it up after House of Slaughter actually drops
next week.
Keeps getting pushed back.
Next week,
is it? We'll see.
It better be.
There's a paper shortage. Maybe they'll allocate it like they did the foil because there was a foil shortage. Love you, Boom.
I do love you, Boom, though. I do. In all seriousness, Boom's got some fire going right now. I will say that.
I would like them a lot more if they were more honest. But anyway, moving on to topic number 5.
God. I feel like we're just angry at the world today.
I'm not. Okay, look. As I said, I appreciate that they do the thank you variants, and I actually do support their titles. I think they have a lot of quality books. I've told you before, the books are not my problem. It's
Right.
the people behind.
And I don't
the
have much
company.
skin in that game because I have a bunch of the thank you variants, so I can't really.
It's the same thing I say about Bad Idea. I don't hate the books. I hate the company and the guy who owned it. Like,
Some of his ideas are bad.
Or all of them. So number 5.
Ooh, let's do it. Let's just roll on. Yep. Let's.
I think number 5. Image next year, 30th anniversary. What would we like to see for their Pearl anniversary?
Something that not makes me feel old for them being 30 years old. Wow, that's crazy. I don't know. Better than they did for their 20th or 25th.
10-year-old Chris
anniversary.
remembers going to the comic book shop and picking up Spawn #1.
Yeah, and being like, this is wild. Youngblood, realizing there was
Youngblood 2 is hot again.
no feet in that entire book. Yeah.
Don't ask me why.
It's not good.
Actually, it's the first
I
one.
kind of liked what they did the last time with their like little mystery box of variants. I thought that was really cool. Maybe they could do it for some more relevant books than they did last
It
time.
didn't roll out very well because apparently the
Allocation was really weird.
allocation of different books was like either you really won or you really lost.
Yeah, which was the other thing. I think maybe like a better executed version of that would be kind of cool. Because I liked the idea. Like I said, allocation was just weird. It was very vague about what was coming in them until they got out, and then everybody was clamoring for them.
I think I got 2 or 3 of them and they were all terrible, and I was like,
Yeah.
Although they ended up being better now because I think I told you like God Country ended up being better than because they got options.
Everybody was after that Negan book. I think was like the big one, and then there was like you could get like there was like a sketch cover or something you could get. So I think that was kind of cool. I would like to see them maybe do something more along those lines. Maybe doing some kind of like milestone editions of their first issues, like the beginnings of Image, Spawn, Youngblood, Wetwork, whatever, Silverhawk or whatever, Darkhawk or whatever it was. I don't remember the other ones. There was a Max. There's a bunch of them. Deathblow. God, it was so 90s. It was so great.
I think they should pretend like it's only their 20th and forget those first 10 years.
I mean, nah, I don't think so.
No?
No.
I joke about that. But honestly, and I tell people, I don't know if you remember, but I told people like the books that they bought in 92, 93, 94 actually helped them turn into the company they are today.
Sure. And I mean, if you look at like the grand, scheme of Image Comics for 30 years and you think about the books that they have put out and continue to put out that really actually made a difference and are amazing stories.
Spawn is still going.
Spawn is still going. Saga's coming back, which is great.
Is it?
Yeah, they announced they're coming. They announced it's coming back.
The Max was an MTV show.
Spawn was
an HBO show?
Spawn was
Spawn had a movie.
Yep, you got The Walking Dead. Man, the list goes on and on of books that have turned into television shows or movies or just have been amazingly good stories. So,
Deadly Class.
yeah, I think that's Dark Horse, isn't it? Is it a Glass Image?
That was Image.
I don't know. Someone should probably fact check that, but whatever.
Cameraman,
fact check. Yeah, I mean, it to think about what the comic book industry would be now if there wasn't an Image Comics. If that didn't happen, it'd be a very different place. I think we'd be getting very different stories, and we'd be missing a lot of stories. I don't think you'd have The Walking Dead. You wouldn't have Saga.
It is Image.
Okay, I was wrong. That's a great show, by the way. It's good. Soundtrack's amazing. Anyway, so yeah, that's my take on it.
They put out a lot of quality things, and
Sure.
what I would love to see them do is do a real creator push next year for like new creators. Kind of go back to their roots and like, hey, we're gonna choose 5 writers, 5 artists, and like
They do their own version of like the Stormbreakers or whatever, like Marvel's doing. Sure.
give them kind of a launching pad for, or maybe even do 7 for the 7 original founders. Like each one mentor a different person.
That'd be cool. Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff they could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to see the return of the Max. I love.
Do you really want to see the return of the Max?
I love Sam Keith's artwork.
I mean, Sam Keith's artwork is amazing for its time and place.
Max was not.
The story behind Max was super
confusing at times.
Wow, at times. My goodness. That story was. I feel like I wasn't on enough drugs when I read that as a kid. And I'm afraid to go back and try to read it again because there was so much going on with that. But the artwork was amazing.
Yeah, I love his stuff. Yeah.
Is it real? Was he a bum? Is he not?
Maybe we can get Darker Image #2 for the 30th anniversary.
Sure. I mean, how dark do we need to go, though? How dark do we need to
go?
I
mean, didn't Darker Image 1 only come out? I don't think they ever did a second one.
I don't think they did either, yeah.
Maybe we can see the finish of the Image United thing that got, 3 issues in, 4 issues in?
Sure. Maybe get more space Rick Grimes. I'm not even really sure where they can go with all that. That Skybound event was kind of weird, too.
So in all honesty, what I would like to see for the 30th anniversary is an Image Marvel crossover so you can get some of the original creators back on some of the titles that they had worked on for Marvel and maybe have their original characters do a crossover with them.
Cool. Yeah, that would be rad. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
It won't.
Never.
That's what I said.
Not in a million years.
So see a Spawn Spider-Man crossover? Nope.
I mean, that'd be cool, but...
Hulk Savage Dragon?
If they fought. Who would win? Who is more angry and green?
Probably Hulk.
Probably.
We'll turn the page on that topic, though. Let us know what you think you would like to see for Image's 30th anniversary. I think there's a lot of cool things they could do.
Just forward it to Image, and they'll listen to us and do what they, do what we ask. Yeah, totally. With fans, we matter.
So number 6. I know you're very excited about this one. The Daredevil run is coming to a close, but they are launching a new Daredevil title with Elektra in the lead, and it is going to be The Woman Without Fear.
I'm not excited that the current Daredevil story is ending because it's really good.
Well, still by Chip Zdarsky is my understanding.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're reading that book, spoiler alert, she already is Daredevil.
How dare you?
I mean, it's been on a bunch of covers. I'm not sure how spoilerific that is at this point. Yeah, I'm totally about it. I think it's good. I think where he's taking that book is in some really cool directions. And for people who liked the Netflix show, it kind of has that vein to it. It explores a bunch of this stuff that goes on in that. I won't go too into detail, I don't spoil it too much. But so Elektra is wearing the Daredevil mantle. She's out in Hell's Kitchen doing hero type things. I think it's going to be great. I don't know why they're ending the run, cutting it off and start. I
would have thought if they were doing that, they would have ended it with 25 and done it at that point.
Sure. Yeah.
When the change happened.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Maybe they're just trying to get all they can out of it.
Juice sales.
Yeah, juice the sales. But
number one's always juice the sales.
Sure.
But I will say, as good as Daredevil is, as much as people come in and tell me how great it is, the sales on it are still kind of low for a book that has so much positive buzz behind it.
I feel like it's one of those sleeper books right now that more people should be on.
There's a bunch of books like that. You and I've talked about it. Black Hammer is one of the ones that
I will sing that book's praises to the mountains, to the mountaintops. Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, there's a couple books right now that should be getting more hype than they are. Barbaric was one. I feel like that one flew way under the radar.
That Batman title with Jorge Corona's art better sell well or else. I'll be very sad.
And that book too is amazing. The Me You Love in the Dark, and I feel like it's not getting the hype that it should.
Joker sells very well for us, but I still feel like it should be selling even better. It's one of those ones that you're like, man, the sales are this, but I feel like there's still even more room for that.
That's a really good one too. There's I know we've talked the Fantastic Four run that's going on right now with Dan Slott.
I know you love that one.
I know it's super good, and nobody is on it. That whole Doom wedding thing and what's going on now with Human Torch is classic Marvel good stuff. And
so this brings up a point though. Do you feel like people are so worried about the value of the books, that there's too many speculators in the market, that the readers are becoming heard less and less? And
I do think that is an issue, and I hate to say that. I feel like it makes me sound like the old dinosaur man just yelling about getting off my lawn.
Well, you and I have talked about. There's no wrong way to collect comics.
There isn't, and do what you want, but at some point, it is a thing that is made to be read and consumed and thought about and talked about and, you know, loved or hated or whatever. So if you take that aspect out of it and you're just in it for the collectability of a cover, then you might as well be buying Pokemon cards or
Original artwork.
Or something like that. You know what I mean? At the core of this is still the stories being told through pictures and words. So if you get too far away from that, I think you're just gonna lose it. So, you know, at some point you should do yourself a service and try to read some of these great stories that are out right now.
No, I do feel like some comic book shops are to blame for that. So what I mean by that is when sales are easy and they come, people are buying multiples of books and what have you. The dollars are flowing. Mm-hmm. People don't read as much and they don't push books as hard because they don't have to. The money's already coming in. Where you and I have talked about this, like I love talking about the storylines and everything. Mm-hmm. I love finding out what people like about things and things that they don't like about things and story arcs and I feel like if you're just going for that easy money and you're not bothering to keep up to date on the trends and
I also feel like now in this day and time in this climate of the industry, you could walk into a store anywhere and pick up a comic, and even if it's super deep into a run, they don't let runs go on long enough and they don't let things get convoluted enough that you can't really pick them up anywhere. Yeah. So I know there's that intimidation factor of looking at something and being like, oh, this is the 17th or 18th issue, or it's legacy. Legacy numbering is wild to me.
Yeah, I think it's a mistake to have two numbers on their books. I think that's silly. Confusing.
But even so, you know what I mean? You pick up whatever Spider-Man Legacy 200 or whatever it is, and you can still find yourself in the story and you can still pick up from there and move on. So I think hopefully there might be a shift of people kind of appreciating things for more of what's being written and drawn than maybe just the speculator of what this is going to be worth 10 years from now or a year from now or whatever.
And I said before, speculators are important to the market also.
Sure.
Because readers do want their stuff to be worth money. Mm-hmm. They don't want to spend money and then have it be worth nothing.
Sure.
I mean, there are some readers that just want the emotional investment into the book. They don't care about the.
Sure. And there are some readers that just want the hot cover or just want whatever the hot book is for its speculative value. But I think you need to find that balance between the two. And if you start leaning towards one way or the other, you're gonna lose
somebody.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing. Like the speculators may be chasing some of the readers out right now because they come into a store and the copy that they're looking for to read is not on the shelf because of the hype or what have you. Somebody came in and bought 5 copies, 10 copies. You know, that's one of the things I try and curb by only allowing people to buy 1 copy, unless they order it by FOC and tell me like, hey, I'm trying to get me 5 copies of X, Y, or Z.
And I don't even see it happen too very often in here. I think most people are respectable enough. And there's also customers that, will call the day before, or call on Tuesday, or call on Thursday, chasing whatever that hot book is, whatever book that came out yesterday and is already worth $30 or something, I think there's a lot of fluctuation in that. And I also think that the market is kind of correcting itself somehow. I've seen a lot of books come down. Books that were crazy high numbers that shouldn't have been crazy high numbers are starting to level off a little bit. So,
but you're also seeing books skyrocket. See, again, the Thor 165 has always been an important book and a book that collectors wanted because of Adam Warlock. But that one definitely saw an explosion in price over the last 3 months, 6 months, because there were already rumors that he was going to be.
Anything Moon Knight right now too.
Anything Moon Knight.
Yep.
So I think it depends. I think there's a lot of short attention spans out there in terms of I saw a new story today, I'm going to drop $1,000 on that, and then it drops in price.
I think it's also easier to read stories now than ever before. You have far more omnibuses and collected editions and trades and things coming out, so there are opportunities to catch up on these stories, and there are opportunities to read these stories.
Somehow we got off Elektra.
I don't even know how. I feel like all of today has just been off the rails. I'm okay with it, but Elektra's great. Daredevil's great. Read the book. Buy it. Buy 5 copies of it.
So we'll turn the page on that topic, and we'll move on to the next one, which actually kind of goes hand in hand, sister topic to that one. Robin and Batman, Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen.
Sure.
We were just talking about people who get overlooked. I feel like Jeff Lemire never really. I think he's a superstar writer, but he doesn't have like the sales of like a superstar writer. Like people know who he is, people trust his name, but I feel like he has never had that one book where he sells like 100,000 copies of it or whatever.
Sweet Tooth, maybe.
Yeah.
He also hasn't done a whole lot in the superhero genre. Most of what he does is kind of ethereal and weird, and I'm super here for it.
I think he's the second best writer in comics.
Who's the first?
Ed Brubaker. I love Ed Brubaker.
I feel like there's a trap here somewhere, so I'm just going to continue on.
You don't like Ed Brubaker?
No, I like Ed Brubaker. I just know you, and I feel like there's a trap in there somewhere. No, all for this. I think it's the quick little 5-cent take on it is it's basically going back to the beginning of Robin teaming up with Batman and Robin finding himiself as a young kid.
From his perspective.
From his perspective, yeah. So totally told from the perspective of a young Robin trying to figure out his way in this world. Lemire's a great writer.
Trying to make Batman accept him. And
Sure. He's like an orphan kid and Batman and rich stuff, and now you're fighting crime and you're wearing tights and he won't let you drive the Batmobile. You know what I mean? I am all for this thing. It's great. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, Dustin Nguyen's art is beautiful.
And Dustin Nguyen, yeah. The couple, was it previews or somebody had like a little like 4-page teaser of it, and the art looks amazing.
Yeah, I think he's an underrated artist. He's done some
Totally.
great covers that have been definitely.
He has that very like watercolory kind of ethereal.
One of my top 5 cover artists.
Yeah.
Josh Middleton is probably number 1. No,
Interesting choice.
not gonna throw out yours out.
I mean, I feel like we all know what mine is. So.
Peach Momoko.
Yes, Peach Momoko.
Gotcha. All right.
I hate you. I feel like you just want me to say it so that you can trash it somehow.
No.
I don't know. I feel like there's a trap there
So
somewhere.
you like Ralph Liefeld's art.
You're not gonna get me. I mean, you're not gonna get me to say bad things about Rob Liefeld, except for he can't draw feet. But
or backgrounds.
Or backgrounds.
Or anatomy.
Wow. See, you did it. I fell right in the trap. Man, I literally stood here and was like, this is a trap. I know there's one here, and I like dove right into it. Congratulations, sir.
You're welcome. No, I'm looking forward to. It's only a 3-issue miniseries. That makes me sad.
It does make you sad. I think it's perfect. It's total Lemire. Get in, get out.
I will
Do
say-
what you got to do. Get out.
I think Lemire is one of the most brilliant writers, and that he does not overstay his welcome. He knows what he wants to say. He knows the story he wants
Yep.
to tell, and he does that. And then he says, "See you later. See you
Gideon
next time."
Falls gave you just the right amount of weird, and then done. You know what I mean? Sweet Tooth did its thing. Out. Got on Moon Knight. Did what he had to do. Out. Yeah, he's genius in that way. Yeah.
So we're both looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
We're on the same page on that one.
Finally, it's taken us how long to get there?
About 5 minutes.
Nobody else will like it. It'll just be you and me.
That's fine.
I'm okay with that.
The comic industry is here for my amusement, so yeah. I clearly mean that.
I'm gonna leave that one all the way alone.
All the way alone?
All the way alone.
Fine, whatever. I'll be Stratford and Waldorf all by myself. All right, moving on to topic number 8. Turning the page to topic number 8. What are you laughing at?
Topic number 8.
I probably should have a balcony built in here where I could do like the.
I would just jump off of it probably.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Topic number 8, final topic. Best Wednesday
Best
ever.
Wednesday ever.
Who's having the best Wednesday ever, sir?
Do you want to go first this week?
No, you can steal mine. Go ahead. I have a bunch, so it's fine.
Okay, cool. An aging Selena Kyle. Yeah, she is having the best week ever. Catwoman, Lonely City.
Catwoman, Lonely City. Set 10 was it 10 years in the future? Or 10 years after...
She's 55 in the book.
okay, so it's 10 years after what was it called?
Fool's Day.
Fool's Day.
Yeah, which they still haven't explained all the way.
When Gordon dies, Batman dies, Nightwing dies, and Joker dies.
Yep.
All 4 of them.
Yep.
and Selena Kyle goes to prison for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
She is returning to Gotham City.
Yep.
To a different Gotham
A
City.
very different Gotham City. Yeah.
Crazy people are not running around.
Nope.
And bad guys aren't running around either.
Nope.
So she's trying to deal with this new status quo within Gotham.
Yep. She's dealing with being older now, having spent 10 years in prison. I just read it today. I picked it up and read it before we started. Amazing. So good. The art is perfect. It
I told you when
sets
this was
a great
solicited,
tone.
I
Yeah.
was looking forward to it. It has a great Jock 1 in 25 cover.
That Jock-
which made you sad.
Yeah, I don't know. I might just go ahead and buy it though, because it's super good. I looked at it out there and was like, do I need this? But it's Jock and it's really great. It's just like a kind of silhouette Jock, like her face. Yeah, the artwork in it is on point. The story so far is really good. It's really nice to see her portrayed in not a weak state, because she's not weak. She is definitely a strong, still female character, but she is dealing with
The trauma of
being older, her knees going bad, her back
Well, the
going
trauma
bad,
of
and the
Fool's-
trauma of
Fool's Day.
Fool's Day, and if you've been under a rock, spoiler alert, Batman, Catwoman,
Kind of a thing.
kind of a thing. So yeah, there's just a lot going on in that, and the way there's a really funny bar scene with Killer Croc and her that made me laugh. It was a really well done book. It is a prestige format book, which
It's a hard sell sometimes.
tends to be a hard sell, and it's really I like it. I like the bigger size. I think it presents the art better. I know people complain about not being able to store them because you can't put them in a regular long box, but I mean, we all got bookshelves, man. Somebody's got magazines, like they're the same size. Like, just buy it, read it. You'll thank me.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to read it yet.
Nope.
Todd McFarlane went to the depths of hell to spawn a new character. See what I did there? Gunslinger Spawn. Todd McFarlane's having the best Wednesday ever, creating his third ongoing current title. I know he likes to say it's like his third ongoing altogether, which is a lie because of Sam and Twitch and a bunch of others from Hellspawn and all that. But, I would say he's having the best Wednesday ever. People were very excited about the Gunslinger character. People love the Western look to him and all of that. Do you have a second one?
No,
No?
it's just Selena Kyle.
Artists who don't work digitally are having the best Wednesday
I
ever.
knew you were going to stay in there somewhere. God.
Greg Capullo gives advice to those who work digitally that perhaps they should want to work in a more tactile way. He threw out like, hey, I have a $13,000 page on my website. You can't do that if you work digitally.
It's hard to take him seriously when every time he talks, he's like strumming a guitar or something, or like.
You feel like he should be on a beach somewhere?
Nah, it's like, no, it's not that. He's like metal noodling, his Black Label Society. I just can't take Greg Capullo seriously, man. I'm sorry.
He feels like some college freshman trying to.
Not even that, dude. I feel like he's like the old gym bro. You know what I mean? That's just like, let's go get beers after our workout,
Gym
bro.
bro. No,
Yeah,
Gym
like
Bros
that's
are
Greg
not having
Capullo
the
to
best
me.
ones
We're gonna
ever.
draw Batman real pointy. Yeah, like. Sorry, Greg Capullo, don't beat me up.
I don't know what to do with that. Although I will say he got credit for redesigning Batman's costume, and I feel like it's the same thing with that Nightwing thing. Like it was a minor change.
Oh yeah, yesterday we were talking about topics and stuff. You were like, Nightwing's getting a new costume, and I was like, what new costume? It's the same costume.
I have nothing to say about that. I don't. I looked at it and I was like, where's the difference? But
Some blue stripes are longer than they were 2 weeks ago, apparently, and that's the new costume.
sure.
Cool, man. Whatever.
Sorry, this is the best Wednesday ever.
This is the best Wednesday ever.
Philadelphia is having the best Wednesday ever. They launched their spinoff title, the Nightmare Blog.
Oh yeah.
You're like, what are you talking
Sorry. Lost it there for a second.
Also, a horror title. The woman's confronting the horrors of Baltimore, so kind of local ties in that one also. I know that's in your stack. I don't know if you've read it yet or not.
You sat there and watched me read books for like 2 hours. No, it is not
You
one
make
that
that
I
sound
have read
creepy.
yet. It didn't.
As if I don't do that 24 hours a day.
Right. I mean, you were doing stuff. I was doing stuff. We were in the same room doing that stuff together. Yeah, no, I haven't read it yet. I flipped through it earlier. It looks cool. Yeah, the artwork looks really cool. It looks like it's going to be a good thing. Hellcop looks like it's going to be a good one too. Maybe I might have to eat my words. It's got some cool artwork. Concept seems really cool. But I do think the
That
big
has a
winner.
cool Spawn cover.
Yes, I do think the big winner this week though is Lonely City.
The Something is Killing the Children is having the best Wednesday ever. The announcement of the second printing of House of Slaughter, the spinoff title, and then also the hardcover dropped and apparently in higher demand than what people expected it to be.
Beautiful, by the way.
The slipcase cover is definitely stand out.
Yes, very much so.
I already saw them for 3 times the MSRP. Normally, you don't see graphic novels or collected editions sell for.
No, it's a hard one for me. I saw it and wanted to buy it. And we've talked about that. But I literally have all the singles and a bunch of the variants. I have the trade, so it's kind of redundant for me. So somebody is going to get a really nice hardback trade.
And then finally, Superman Son of Kal-El having the best Wednesday ever. As you said, Superman normally doesn't get a lot of press. I think the last time he really got a lot of press was 30 years ago when he died. So Tom Taylor definitely doing his job in garnering some media attention for the character between the motto change, the bisexuality of Jonathan, and the climate change storyline coming
Dare
up.
we say he kissed a boy and he liked it?
Sure.
He died. I watched him die as soon as I said it.
But definitely reinvigorating the Superman franchise a little bit,
Sure.
getting some more people interested in the character. Hopefully it translates into sales.
All of the stuff I still bought a copy of the issue. So I'm kind of a hypocrite. But
Anything else you would like to throw in there for the best Wednesday ever?
nah, pretty much covered it, I think.
Did I at least end on a more positive?
We did end on a positive note. I feel like we've had this like trend of just being kind of Debbie Downers, man. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I also don't want Greg Capullo to beat me up, so I probably shouldn't talk trash.
Is he a
But
big guy?
he's a big fella.
Is he?
Yeah.
I've never seen him.
What do you mean you've never seen
I don't pay attention to what these guys look like. Write and draw, that's all I care about. Like I don't even go to conventions. I don't care about signatures or anything.
Conventions are more than signatures.
I don't want to meet anybody.
Are we gonna have to go to a convention together? To show you how to do cons right?
Nah, there's too many people there.
He says yes.
Be a good video.
Would it?
We need to get you out in public
We can
more.
hand out some YouTube cards, like, hey, watch this.
Sure, yeah.
And then people throw
Someone might recognize us, you know? No, I hope they don't, actually. My God. It's terrifying when that happens.
So we'll turn the page on the best Wednesday ever. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget the LCS. Like, comment, and subscribe to your LCS, local comic shop, Brainstorm Comics and Gaming. And don't forget about the subscription subscription process that we have out there. You can go to brainstormcomics.com and go to the shop area and set up a subscription there. So that's it for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed it. See you next week.